There we go. Testing. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay, hi guys, how you doing? Congratulations, Zave, you are technically first. Good job. You can't make it today, that's okay, don't worry. I will summarize whatever happens in Final Fantasy II the next time you show up. To my best ability. Let's see, hi Spawn Chiller, hi OJ, hi Monkey Snacks. Haven't caught you in forever, Happy New Year, hope you're doing well, Happy New Year. I'm doing fine actually, doing alright. How are you guys doing? What's up? Alright. Let me fix that. You getting over some stupid virus? Did you get a cold? Not the flu, right? There we go. Okay. As always, I, again, twiddled with my sound settings until I find something I like, so if anything sounds really weird or bad, let me know. We are going to be finishing the rest of Chrono Trigger today. We have to go through... I mean, we basically went through all of the Black Omen, so now we just have to do all the boss battles. It's like... Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4... There's like 5 of them. So... And then we're done. You got dog ass sleep because of your stomach pains? I work tonight at 8, so you're gonna try to get more sleep? Yes, please. Definitely get more sleep. Definitely. Does your stomach feel better today at least? And after we beat Chrono Trigger, we're going to play Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster for the first time for me. So no spoilers, please. And that's it. That's the plan for the day. Alright. Ow.
Magite Jam.
Oh, Bizarraham! Thank you for the 38 months! Thank you! How are you doing? What's up? Did I get anything cool for Christmas? I got, what did I get for Christmas? I got something. Rasto inadvertently got me a flashlight. Hold on. I know I got other stuff. I completely forgot already. I got 12 pounds of MSG. A bit too much. Yep. Oh yeah, that's a Christmas gift. True. I got a tablet. Thank you. Sorry. There's one thing I'm forgetting. I don't remember what it is. That's about it. Stealth, hi bye. Please have fun. Okay, Mobile. Hi bye. I hope you're doing okay. What? Flashlight. I got a a flashlight. I don't need a flashlight. What else did I get? There's one thing I'm forgetting. Sorry to the person I forgot who got me something. Yeah, that was south real quick. No, what did I get? Oh my god. I can't remember. Oh, my mom. My mom got me some, like, snacks. That's what it was. Yeah, thank you, OJ. Yes, my mom got me, like, some Ferrero Rocher or whatever. They're, like, hazelnut chocolate balls. They're really good. And, some gummy bears, which I actually am just gonna eat the last of right now. Yeah, that's it. That was Christmas. I didn't ask anyone. Did you guys get good gifts? Alright, let me post that I'm live. And then we will continue. Okay, let's close that. What'd you get? Time to spam. Spam time. Sure, listen to that. You got a PS5? Hell yeah! That's awesome! Oh my god. That's a great gift. Congrats. Hot damn. You got the gift of friendship? Well, that's good too. Yeah, I kind of did a very sparse Christmas. I basically just got Chrono and my mom something. I just wasn't feeling it this year, so I was like, eh. Alright, I'm spamming Discord, give me a minute. No black market. You do not encourage scalpers and black market people. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. They need to learn a lesson. If you bought 1,000 PS5s, you should be stuck with them forever. Sorry, this takes a while. There we go. Now we're done. I know, but while I'll argue with the description wonderful, I still don't, we don't help bad people, okay? Okay. Alright. Let's turn this off. Turn this on. Gonna get loud for a second. Well, hold on. Okay, there we go. She was hiding it since October? Oh man. Did you get any good games? Are you gonna get any good games for it? That's exciting. Oh, sorry, I'm wiggling a whole bunch. Alright, I'm gonna turn this volume down a little bit. Okay, yeah, so I kind of stopped using Robo right at the end. I'm sorry, but he was making everything incredibly difficult. Hi, Master Bismuth. How you doing? You got the Forbidden West bundle and just upgraded your PSN sub? Oh, you're playing Stray? How do you like that? I played that off stream when it first came out, which is funny because on my Steam like profile where it's like, these are the stats for the year, one of the genres I played in was cats. I was like, okay. Robo sort of doesn't fit in with the needs of fighting in places like Black Omen. It's healing. It's hard to have healing. Alright. Let me turn this down some more. It's hard to have healing and like, I mean, I guess I can just swap out Magus for Robo, but the part I'm about to fight, if you don't have Magus in your party because you're fighting his mom, you don't get his music, which I think is kind of cool. So every time you've played it since, you basically haven't used him at all. I never used Robo. I think Robo is great. I've just never used him. That's, you know. Your cats watch Screen? It was a good game. I actually really like Stray. I don't think it's like Game of the Year worthy or anything, but I think it's worth a good playthrough. Like, you know, it's enjoyable, definitely. Anyway, so I have Magus. I have Ayla and Frog for Slurp Kiss because that's just, I need party healing. It makes things so much easier. You don't know how to use them effectively? Not sure you can do that many triple techs? Well, I mean, everybody can do triple techs with Chrono. And then they have, yeah, he has one, it's Magus, Luca, and Robo, which is Omega Flare. So, I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know, okay? I did what I could, but now I want to actually beat the game, so I'm kicking Robo out for a little bit. Your cats are dumb? No! I mean, maybe, but there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Gold Stud, Moon Armor, Vigil, Fist. Oh my god, I sorted my stuff out the way I wanted to. Hold on. I'm just reset. Yeah, but Magus is really, really strong. I also gave him all my magic tabs. So his magic is 80. For comparison, Luca is 54. Also, his magic defense is insane, so... No. You know the tabs I got? I don't know if I have any more. Oh my god, I did it again! I did it again! These tabs. I'm gonna reset again, hold on. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Let's do this again. I automatically organize if you can't tell. I see it is in the wrong order and I'm like, oh, I need to organize that. Anyway, I have this set so if I die, I can revive with a full tonic really fast. And I have my mega elixirs and just, yeah. Alright. I think everyone's all set. I think this is all good. So anyway, yeah, Magus has really strong magic, attack, and defense. I gave Ayla all the power tabs, so her power is 94. The only strong, like, Robo's second strongest. And Frog's just there for support. He just hangs out. Although his magic defense is pretty good too. Stamina also. Alright. Let's... Basically, it's the boss rush, and then let's beat the game. Can I touch these? Can I touch these? Oh, this is super... Oh, so many spoilers. Hi, Gunrun. Tons of... This is the ultimate spoiler. Actually, 2, 4... Magus isn't in here. That's rude. I'm sorry. Just lurk. Behold, my pretties, destiny in its most brutal form. All the dreams that might have been, all the happiness and sorrow you might have experienced. Gone forever. For you there will be no tomorrow. The dark omen transcends time and space, waiting for Lavos to awaken. Destiny had led you here, and here you shall rest forever, unless you can defeat me and smash the omen. Come, dear friends. Perhaps I can persuade Lavos to share his dreams with you. Did I say dreams? I meant his eternal nightmare. So... There we go. She only does, I think, that one move. If I'm wrong, I'll die, but we'll find out. And Frog Squash and Dino Tail do the most damage the lower your hit points are, so... This is pretty much the only time I would use these. It's beating up his mama. She can't get me down to 1 hit point again, because that's where I already am. No, it's called Dino Tail. Okay. So now I get a Mega Elixir, and then hopefully I can use it immediately. Or I will die. Ah, my powers don't seem to work here. Wait, I'll simply toss you into the Mammon Machine. You'll be one with the Omen, Lavos, and me. Hi, Jumper, how you doing? Please go. Ooh. Woo! Six battles. Sorry, not 5. You're doing good? Good. You're late for a big have a good rest of your stream. Okay, thank you for lurking, Monkey Snacks. I appreciate it. Alright, we just beat him up as fast as we can. At least that's what I do. Hopefully I don't die. Okay, good. It's a big challenge with all the bosses. Yeah, especially if you don't realize that's what's gonna happen. Just in case. It makes me nervous. There we go. Okay, it's this damn battle. Such a pain in the ass. I don't do it a lot, so I don't remember all the things that I'm supposed to or not do. Thank you. You cretins. I plan to live with Lavos and control the universe forever. You will not get in my way. Idiots. Nothing can live forever. Zeal, a pitiful woman, duped by Lavos. I myself will bring an end to all of this. Prophet, you are doomed. I haven't forgotten what you did at the Ocean Palace. You will now forfeit your life. Kill the ants. Have at thee. Hi JD, how you doing? Okay, that doesn't hurt them. Okay. MP Buster. Oh, maybe it's don't attack the hands and just attack the face? Shit, I don't remember. I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm just gonna attack the face. You doing good? How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Day so far has been... Dark Bomb? It's been pretty good. Yeah, I'm used to most of the things in Chrono Trigger is attack the ligaments and then attack face. Oh my god. Okay. And I think most of the times I came into this battle going, oh, I gotta kill the hands, and the hands always counterattack. So it made it a very tough battle. still doing oh. Knock on wood, we're still doing okay. Halation. Ah, I don't like this move. Go! No! Wait. Damn! Bitch. It's okay, we don't... That's why I have the item set up like this. Because I have my game on... I'm active. Alright. It's fine, you can do your... stupid lightning thing. Come on! Oh, I have no magic. I'm an idiot. Okay. Time to attack her head again. That's actually really strong. It's okay. We'll be alright. Ay, 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 ay. Hi Vito, what's up? So the song plays here because if you have Magus in your party, he's fighting his mom, so his theme plays. But only if you have Magus in your party. Yeah, I thought it was a fun fact. Whoa! Magus doesn't suck! Get out of here! Please don't die. Oh my god, don't die. Jeez. You should have kept your powers and became a party member. We discussed this yesterday. When he goes to fight Lavos, when everyone's dying, Lavos sucks the power out of him. He literally says, "Ugh, my powers are being drained." And that is why he's weak. How dare you insects come after me? Oh, almighty Lavos, lend me your power. Don't I mean Janice? Yes. I do. At last, Lavos awakens. Compared with him, you are like germs, but I shall obtain immortality. Oh, we woke him up. Okay. So it's a boss rush within a boss rush. Lavos enters attack mode. So it was Zeal, Mammon Machine, Zeal again. Now it's Lavos going through a bunch of bosses. Then it's Lavos again, and then one more time. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Lavos does suck. You know, I feel like you should have like some tomatoes and you can just throw them at everybody you don't like. What do you guys need to heal? So the first stuff should be pretty easy. We'll just... because it has this, I think it has the same hit points as a, you know, the original boss. Okay, we fight a robot. I mean, come on, yeah. Can I just do this? Stuff is also, so the beginning part's not so tough. And actually you can get through this pretty early in the game, even without Chrono. It is tough. But that's when you get to this, like, actual battle and your ass gets kicked. I woke him up in the Ice Age? Yes, I did. I did. I did it to get rid of the Black Omen in all time periods. Oh, he needs magic. My bad. I wasn't paying attention. Usually I hate boss rushes. This one's okay. Because it makes you feel really strong. And you're like, yeah, look at me. And then you get serious and you're like, oh god, I'm gonna die. No, I thought like if you say I defeat it in the future, it's still in all the other time periods, which means you can go through it 1, 2, 3, 4 times if you want. You do it for the items? I have done it. Long time ago, that's why I'm not 100% sure. I mean... Jesus, hold on. Okay, sorry. Sirens are going on forever. Anyway, I would go and do it and I get all the items, but since I'm not going to, you know, replay it like that, it's not an issue. Because when he releases the stored up energy, it is a lot. It leaves you really low on hit points. Did you? Like after this round, if I don't kill him, then he would release the lightning stored energy or whatever. Oh, we're fighting ourselves. Good thing I have the mass immune. Although I don't think that matters. Oh, it does. Oh, okay. This is gonna take a minute. I thought it was at the second phase, not the first one where you have the barriers. It was ice? Can I steal from you? Never. I don't think I've ever tried. Oh, I can charm the ultimate boss. Oh, but he has nothing. Okay. Pass. There we go. Have you ever played Cosmic Star Hearing? No, I have not. What is it? Should just do that. Come on. Let's see if that works. When did it come out? What's it on? And ooh, fantasy stuff. Alright, let me copy that down on him. Okay. It has been copied. Kick is a good move. So we'll just spam this. Every platform from 6 years ago? Okay. It's turn-based, but your skills get used up and don't recharge, so you have to think about what to use. Okay, so there's some thought put into it. There we go. This dude. I hate this dude. You have to defend. Yeah, I've never, did I organize this? Oh my god, I organized this again. What is wrong with me? Hold on. Heal, Mega Elixir, Full Ether, Elixir. Five, Full Tonic. There we go. Heal, Full Ether. Okay. You give me that one? No, don't worry. I will check it out. I'll check it out after stream today or tomorrow. I have it written down, so there's 2 games I have to check out. This one and the other one that I wrote down that was suggested to me. black matter. Dark matter with purpose. Yes. Yes. Get drop kicked. You got a dirt cheap in an eShop sale a couple of years ago. What's the other game I wrote down? It's, okay, so Cosmic Star Heroine and then Chained Echoes. That's what was also, there we go, suggested. And since I'm gonna stream more, and probably play games a bit more. Oh, I did it. The suggestions definitely help. Alright, so this is when he means business. Just in case. Also, I need to know barrier cuts magic. I'm gonna write this down because I never ever remember. Hiya. Where's my pen? It's my leaky pen. Barrier is magic. Shield. Physical. Shield is spelled that way. There we go. Just in case. You gotta wash your hair so you lurk a little bit. Okay, thank you for lurking. Someone is coming and you're already kind of late. Yeah, don't be late. Painful? Okay, not so bad. Hopefully everyone's protected from that. Yes. Okay, and we just basically spam these moves. But the future refused to change. No, I'ma change it. Hey Dark Shadow Rage, how you doing? I thought it was so cool when I was a kid that, like, when I lost, I still kind of got an ending. It was not a good one, but... Saw me in the recommended? You saw Chrono Trigger and had to click? Yay. I was recommended? That's nice! Well, we're beating the game today. This is my annual playthrough. Levels down. Ayla number 1! Will there never be an end? We'll get to the bottom of this, Lavos. So we just went through the Black Omen, so now we're kind of doing all the bosses. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for following. After we beat Chrono Trigger, because I just started stream like an hour ago, we're gonna do Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. This is creepy. It's worse than Magus' place. No offense. Lava smells stronger. No turning back now. Okay. Don't hit organize. Oh, I did it this time. Okay, the final battle. Hopefully we don't die. But if you wanted to, you can always just leave. All right, let's do this. You're going through Chrono Cross for the first time? Hold on, I'm gonna read this comment without like the super fast heartbeat. But actually to completion, we've had the game since the 90s but never beaten it, but now you're gonna do it. I beat it when it came out, and then I actually just replayed it this year when they re-released it for the Switch. That was pretty fun. I didn't do completion or anything. We were just trying to figure out the plot. Okay, let's do this. No jank frame rate? Yeah, the frame rate was not... Wasn't a fan. Finally, you have met your match, Lavos. Cyrus, this be our finest battle. Ayla not give up! The nipples of doom! Please don't kill me. Oh! Christ, this shit hurts. By completion mean actually being okay. Chrono Cross does have one of the best soundtracks. It's amazing. This arm. Yeah, and also, you can do more damage than 999. I need you guys to be, like, super healthy. Like, I can hit enemies for, obviously, 9,999. I never get hit higher than 999 except for a few bosses, which I always thought was a little odd, but... Damn it. But I just took that as, like, they really hit hard. Actually, I'm gonna give Ayla a barrier. Owie. Unless she already has barrier. Is that barrier on it? Oh god, she's gonna be crazy now. Yeah, the dropkick is really strong. I very much like it. Oh no, it's Meg is gonna be crazy. There we go. Slurp Kiss should remove any bad stuff. Okay. It's my final team on each playthrough. You go with Chrono Ayla. This, I was trying to use Robo a whole bunch in my playthrough this time, and I've done most character combinations, but this is kind of the one I usually stick with. Sometimes I'll switch Magus out for Chrono. But I really like Magus. I think he's edgy and cool. So. So painful, Jesus. Usually have Chrono, Luca, and Marl, the classics. Inverted piece of Triforce is pretty neat. I like it. Alright, we just spam. I think my only complaint would be I wish there were more techs, because obviously the last one you have is going to be the strongest, so you end up using the same moves over and over. Since you basically start with them. I've beaten the game with Robo, Marl, Chrono. That was like one of my last playthroughs. I've done all endings, so obviously I've beaten it with just like Chrono and Marl. Haha! Eat shit, you ugly cell-looking bastard. Thank you for lurking, Ratsto. Good luck. So, since the dawn of time, it has slept underground, controlling evolution on this world for its own purpose. It is too much to bear. We have been reared like animals. Our lives hath been for naught. Me no run, Ayla no run away, worse than losing. We were created only to be harvested, all people, and all living things. It's over for you. Your life ends here. Jeez, Ressa, there's so many words. No. Alright. I think... Wow, that was... Wow, jeez, I just killed... Oh my god. I killed him real good. Megas lost its protection. Okay, and then... I'm just a little nervous. So I'm gonna do this just in case. Alright. Okay. Because I have the game on active, I have Frog set to Slurp Kiss, I have Ayla set to Drop Kick. So that way I don't have to spend time worrying about it. So the trick to this battle is, the main thing you have to kill is the right Nibbin. It's got a lot of hit points, and in order to hurt it, you have to kill the left Nibbin. So if you kill the left Nibbin, the defenses go off, and then you can hurt the right Nibbin. The middle doesn't matter. Ah! Oh god, Ayla's gonna die. Please don't die. Oh, she lived! Hi-ya-ya. You can kill the middle boss. Doesn't really do anything. I mean, it gets rid of some attacks, though. Damn it. Where are we now? Oh, okay. There we go. That's what I was worried. That's what I was worried about. So each time period has an attack, oh god, associated with it. And prehistoric, you get grand, whatever it's just called, the stone one, ultimate physical attack. If you're in the future, you get the dream one, ultimate magic attack. That's why I gave people barriers. Was it barrier? Shields. So I give them shields. It usually takes a turn or two for the defense to get back up, so I'll just attack. Damn it. Sleeping on the job. Oh, I hate this move. Oh, it'll wake him up. Kill you. There you go. God damn it. Let me get some moves off. Is that removing a barrier? He wants to show you his 3D triangle. It's really cool. Hurts a lot. Alright, now we spam as much of this as we can. That'll probably take like a few more hits, I think. The other thing is, if you get rid of the left bit, it doesn't do the remove your status protection. Which in the final boss is kind of important. I also need to heal. Oh, thank you. I'm still gonna heal, because just to be safe. Also, I think Slurp Kiss will remove slow? We'll see. I haven't been paying attention. Yep. There we go. Whew. And that's Chrono Trigger. Thank you. Flashing warning, sorry. Okay, let's fix this. Chrono! 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 Time to rise and shine. We have a little surprise for you. Your stay of execution has been cancelled. You must now carry out your sentence. We've been looking for you, Chrono. Where did you take my daughter? Daddy, don't! Chrono hasn't done a thing. She says Chrono has been a perfect gentleman, but... What do you think, Chancellor? Hi, Dormaru, how you doing? Chrono's deeds have had an enormous impact on the kingdom. Chancellor, how could you? Please, just listen to me. We had to... Save the future, right? Huh? You saved the future and gave us hope. You fought Magus' troops and brought peace to the kingdom in year 600. Chrono beat Reptites. What's going on here? Waha! Luca, you brought them here, didn't you? Our kinsman told me all about your incredible mission. Kinsman? You mean these are my ancestors and descendants? Hero is fussing about my kingdom, my daughter, and you were saving past, present, and future. Now, for a true victory parade. Tonight we celebrate you. Now, Marl, go out and enjoy the last night of the fair. Aww. Come along with Chrono, our hero. Princess Nadia is finally home. At last, Guardia is back to normal. It's a moonlight parade. Oh. Yeah, it was like 3 days. Yeah. This is always so nice. I can move. It's so cute. Let me fix this. You saved us all. That's nice, dear, but I wish you spent more time around the house. It's a real problem when the person who's in charge of the cat is gone. This is fantastic. You had the DS side content? I actually never, I have the DS game, I played it. I never did the side content. Not much business in weapons anymore, but I like it that way. Alright, we're good. Yum! Lemonade sure tastes great outdoors. Chrono, have a sip. You're the hero today. Can I talk to Lucas Mom? Honey, don't just be a sack of potatoes. Dance with me. Chrono, the king says you save the future. Wait till I tell my friends. Yeah, I heard you get really stupid broken-ass equipment. Well, everyone, this is it. Each to thine time. The gate has grown weak. We've got to say our goodbyes before the gate closes. You're all leaving? Chrono is strong. Marl too. Ayla, have fun. You're my distant ancestor, so you'd better have tough kids or I'll be in trouble. No worry, Ayla very strong. Right. Hey, what do you mean by that? Keto dummy, we go now. Mwah. Tis a feisty crowd, but they are thine kin, and 'tis of consequence. Queen Lean awaits. Your Majesty, we too shall take our leave. We brought him to the future. Mr. Frog. Long farewells never were necessary. Right. Besides, actions speak louder than words. Yeah, don't these things end with the princess kissing the frog? So, you're going to search for Shala? Peace. Luca, I will miss you. What's wrong, Luca? Aren't you going to say goodbye to Robo? She knows. Knows what? Oh, I get all teary-eyed at this part. Robo was born in a bleak future. When we defeated Lavos, we changed history. Robo may not exist in the future. Haha, please relax. The new future has a place for me. Darn it, Robo! Don't pretend you don't care when you're really sad. It just makes things worse. Luca, you have taught me these emotions. Thank you. Tears don't become you, Luca. Robo will be there in the new future. Goodbye. Caution, oil has washed over my sight sensors. Sight diminished. Do you remember that talk we had? You mean about whether our lives flash by before we die? Yeah, I get the feeling that the entity is finally at rest. Yes, I feel that too. Time travel, how exhausting. We should dismantle that puck. Its job is finished. You naughty thing, come back here. Look, Chrono, your cat's running away because you haven't been feeding it. Huh. Hey, come back here. Oh, great. Chrono, that gate will never open again.
Yes.
Well, it looks like we have no choice but to go after them. Go after them? But the gates... Luca. Don't turn off your brain yet. I forgot we have a time machine. Nyahaha. Oh, Princess, the king asked for your presents. Hello. I'm so happy. Now there's no reason for you to go away anymore. I have a gift for you to commemorate this day, Princess Nadia. Nope, never fed the cat. This is Nadia's bell. It will ring out across the land. Laurel, where did you go? Could someone please lend me a hand? Daddy, I hate to say this, but I can't sit around doing nothing. Hehe. It's on balloons, it's okay. Phew, made it just in time. Shall I fire one off? No, Tavin. Actually, I could really use some help. That's Chrono Trigger. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, I love the ending song so much. It shows Luca with the mini robo? Yeah. Wonder where he went off to? He went off to Chrono Cross, where they made him a character and then decided not to. You'll never not want the ability to fly like in video games. I've wanted to be able to fly since I was a kid. It's amazing. Yeah, he becomes, was it like Guile? Sorry, I'm eating gummy bears. You often have dreams of flying like Maze? For a long time, I've had dreams that I could fly, but I'd have to get like a running jump off a hill kind of thing, and I'd have my arms out like a plane. It would be a lot of gliding and flapping.
You have to jump 3 times?
No. No, we probably won't. Or you're swinging on a long rope into some power lines. You could fly in the air. That sounds cool. I think if you're on Saturn's moon, though, you'll probably die. The end. You did it. I did it. Yes. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Okay, well that's that. If you let it continue, the music box song will play. Let me fix this over here. Sorry, I got a lot of wires. Oh, see?